What's up, tribe? Happy afternoon. Y'all think I'm getting sick, but we're gonna make it do what it do. Give me a quick second. My tea is ready. I was trying to wait, and then of course, as soon as I hit the button, it starts boiling. Give me a quick second, y'all. Let me go get my tea. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode. If you watched it, tell me what you thought. Thank you, Shade in the City. Thank you, Trees. I know that's Trees, y'all. Give me a quick second, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second, y'all. All right, sorry, y'all. Here I come. My apologies. Somebody gonna be like, she's so unprofessional. Why she start the video? She wasn't ready. All right, y'all. Here we go. So first of all, I actually like this show. I reviewed the first couple of seasons, and then that last season I stopped reviewing it because I felt like we were no longer getting authentic stories. I felt like we were now getting people who were trying to come on the show, you know, people who just wanted to go on a reality show. Because some of these problems that these people were having, and then in 3 days, they would be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I was like, ain't no way in hell that they done worked all that out in 3 days, right? So I'm glad they took a break. I'm glad they took some time for us to miss the show. I'm glad they took some time to maybe vet some of these stories out or whatever. Now, season 4 premiered on Saturday night. So I watched it last night. Y'all, if I wasn't so tired last night, I'd have went live last night. Can I say, these have got to be two of the most selfish people I have ever met in my life. There's absolutely no way in the world. There's absolutely no way in the world that y'all had this epiphany once y'all got there that, oh my goodness, maybe we need to work on ourselves. Oh my goodness, da-da-da-da-da. And the fact that y'all are still living together, and the fact that at the end it says that they're still living together, they're still together, they just put off the wedding, it tells me y'all still didn't get it. Yeah, Shade in the City, yeah, girl. It tells me y'all still didn't get it. Because if you really got it, y'all wouldn't even be together right now. Like, y'all would have broken up. Now, for those who do not watch the show, thank you, Bluebell. For those who do not watch the show, let me break down what the show is. The show is called Family or Fiancé. So what it is you have a couple whose family, for whatever reason, they're worried that their family will not accept their marriage. So they bring them to this show to tell them that they're engaged, and then there are therapists there, there are professionals there to help them work through whatever issues that they're having, so that hopefully everybody will be on board with the wedding. So at the end of the weekend, and therefore weekend, so at the end of the weekend, the family has to say yes, they support the marriage, or no, they still don't support it. Now, in the past, we've had a little bit of both. We've had some people say, yeah, we support it. We've had some people be like, yeah, no, we ain't doing that. But like I said, the last season, they had some of them. Oh, it's snowing. The snow started. Okay. It was supposed to start at 1, but I still didn't see no snow. I was like, oh, is the snow gonna come? But it's coming. It's out there now. So that was why I kind of got away from it, because I was like, some of these issues, like that one lady that just was a liar. I don't know if y'all remember her. She just lied about everything. She just was a liar. So let's talk about, excuse me. Let's talk about this couple. We have James and we have Jamaica or Jamaica, whatever. I'm going to tell you what bothered me. I know what y'all want. The people who watch the episode, I know the part that y'all probably were bothered with. But let me tell y'all what bothered me, okay? Before we even get to the part that I know everybody was like, what? Before we even get to the part, it's not snowing in Capitol Heights yet. Well, I guess it's on the way because it's snowing where I am, girl. And I'm not that far from Capitol Heights, child. So it's on the way, and that it's on the way. So we get there. And let me just break down what we learned about James and what's her name? Jamaica, whatever. Jamaica, whatever. They met when she was 18 years old. And he was already in his 30s. That already is a red flag for me. Even though she said, well, he wasn't trying to get with me. You know, he was like, and we sort of lost touch. And then we reconnected on social media. I don't care. The fact that you met him, they met at a funeral. She was 18 and he was 30-something. I don't even understand how the conversation even went there. 31 to be exact. Thank you. The conversation should have never even been, you should have never even known he was interested in you. I mean, he should have never known that you were interested in him. And I get it. Maybe she came on to him. Maybe she was a little fast in the tail. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. But that's number one. She did look at Quake. I said the same thing. I said, well, she don't look like she's 15 years younger than him. They look like the same age. So that was the first thing that threw me off, right? So number one, y'all met when you were 18 years old. Number two, y'all reconnected in 2020. On social media, y'all reconnected in 2020. Y'all have basically been living together ever since then. And y'all have been engaged since, what they say, since 2022. Now, we know that OWN loves to film a show and not show up for 2 years. So I do not know when this was filmed. We can comfortably say it was filmed at least, I'm going to say at least late 2023, early 2024. I'm going to say that. I doubt this was filmed recently. This was probably filmed a year ago, maybe even a year and a half ago. Because we know how OWN like to sit on these damn shows, right? So we're going to give them that. But y'all been living together since 2020. So y'all got engaged in 2022, I think they said. Which means that y'all have been engaged for, like I said, let's say at least a year. And y'all ain't tell nobody? Y'all ain't tell nobody. Here was the part that bothered me the most. I know what y'all want me to say. I'm going to get to that last because all of this stuff bothered me more than that last part. Although I know what y'all going to say. Y'all going to say, how could it bother you more? Because all of these other things should have been red flags for Jamaica, Jamiroquai, whatever her name is. All of these should have been red flags for you. Baby, she's still married and so is he. I'm sorry, what? She is still married and so is he. She has 6 children by her husband because he ain't her ex-husband because they're still married. So you mean to tell me you have been living with this man? Like I said, we're going to say this was 2023. We're going to say this was 2023, okay? So you've been living with this man for 3 years. You have 6 children by your husband, and you ain't even filed the paperwork. She said she ain't even filed the paperwork. I'm sorry, what? Hold on a second, y'all got to blow my nose. Hold on. Sorry about that. So she said that he hasn't, now he's filed, but the paperwork isn't final yet. But he's been married 3 times. So let me go down the list. They met when she was 18. He's 15, 16 years older than her. She is still married with 6 children by her baby daddy. I'm sorry, her husband. That ain't her baby daddy. That's her husband. He is on his 3rd marriage. He has 2 biological children who he has no relationship with. That's another red flag. He has no relationship with. The oldest daughter don't even speak to him. The youngest daughter came, and we're going to get to that in a minute because we're going to talk about that. And then, but neither one of them are divorced. But y'all been living together since 2020. Now, y'all ready for the final part of this? Because all of that, to me, was a red flag before we even get to the part that I know everybody is excited to talk about. Baby, they are 3rd cousins. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. They are 3rd cousins. Now, her mama, Jamaica's mama, Jamiroquai, whatever the girl name is, her mama grew up with James. They were friends. Like, it wasn't like they didn't know each other. Like, you know how you can be 3rd cousins with somebody, but y'all don't know each other? Like, y'all ain't never met. Y'all never seen each other, right? But 3rd cousins that were you. He was a part of your life. So now I'm side-eyeing when you say we met at a funeral when I was 18. Now I'm side-eyeing that because now you're going to sit here and say, well, my mom and him, they grew up together. They were friends. Now, I know everybody's family setup is different. I'm sure I have cousins I ain't never met. I'm positive, okay? I'm sure I have cousins I have never met. But no, the him and the mama are 2nd cousins. She's 3rd cousins. But it'd be different. I mean, it's still a situation, but it would be different if y'all didn't know each other. You said that him and your mama grew up together. Now the family knows that they're together. The family doesn't know that they're engaged, and in my opinion, that's a distinction with no difference as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a damn whether they engaged to be married or not. The fact that they are living together and they are a couple and they are procreating. That is the problem I have. Excuse me. Her mom and him are first. I thought they were 2nd cousins. Okay. They first. I could have sworn they were 2nd cousins, but okay. So I don't understand 1st cousin, 2nd cousin. I thought they were 2nd cousins because his grandmama and her great-grandmother were sisters. Albertine. And that's what I felt like when I was listening to that. I felt like I was listening to EJ speak, but she was like, Albertine. And I was like, what? Thank you. And I thought they were 2nd cousins. So we're going to keep going because it gets worse. You thought it couldn't get worse? Oh, it gets worse. Okay. So it gets worse. Now, if you haven't watched the show before, what they do is they usually have a ceremony at the beginning where they tell the family that they're getting married. And the family has to go around and say whether they support it or not. Of course, none of them supported this bullshit. So the people that were there from Jamiroquai's side of the family was her daughter, one of her daughters. Now, she got 6 kids, but it seemed like, I don't know their ages, but this one is getting ready to graduate from high school because at one point she said, I'm about to leave for college soon, so I just got to get through this last year. So she's a senior in high school at the time of this taping. So her daughter, her mama, and her best friend. That's who came on her side. Then on his side, it was his daughter and 2 of his friends. Let me tell y'all something. I want y'all, Xavier, all y'all people that be down on the social medias and stuff, I want y'all to find these 2 friends. Find these 2 friends, okay? And tell them that really be want to talk to them. Because, baby, they clocked this thing from the word go. Do you hear me? They clocked this bullshit from the word go. They were in the car on the way and said, I just know he need to work on his relationship with his daughters. Baby, they was in the car clocking it. Y'all find them friends and tell them to call. Got some things I want to talk to them about, okay? I got some things I want to talk about. But for real. So, yeah, she said they don't share any DNA markers. Child, bye. You want me to believe that y'all took the time and money to go have a DNA to go do the marker test? Those things aren't cheap, and your insurance only pays for it if you're already. Well, I ain't gonna say. Nowadays, I can't say what they will or they won't do. But I know back in the day, the only time the insurance paid for it is if there was. You were pregnant and there was a concern about like you had a predisposition for certain things like sickle cell or stuff like that. Just because you dating your third cousin, I don't think the insurance company's gonna pay for that. Because what they're going to say is, well, don't date him. But I can't speak for the insurance companies. I just know back in the day, that's what they used to do. Maybe now you could do it over the counter. They got everything over the counter now. Maybe you could do it over the counter now. So his two friends were men. They was men's, Casey. They was men's. Okay. So they have to do an activity. So the first activity is cake and whatever. Basically, they're eating wedding cake, like samples of wedding cake, and they're asking her questions. Like they wrote down questions on a piece of paper and they're asking her questions. Then for his was like pack and carry some shit, but it was basically the cake and questions. Thank you, Seamus. It was basically, y'all ain't take no notes because I was tired last night and I was like, I'm not watching that again to get my notes. So love y'all, but it's what it is. So his was like pack and whatever. And it was the same thing. They were asking him questions. I ain't going to go through all the questions, but I'm going to tell you what we found out. We found out that he has 2 biological daughters. That he does not have a good relationship with either one. The youngest daughter was there, Keena, and you could tell she wanted to try to fix her relationship with her dad. We found out that at one point in time, her and her dad were like best friends, ride or die. She said that this is a pattern with him. He finds a woman, he dates her, and then he literally moves out of the state, out of state to go and be with her, and he basically messes up his relationship with his daughters, pursuing these other women. Now, there was his ex-wife had 2 children, and he was like, they're basically mine. I helped raise them. They're not biologically mine, but they're basically mine, whatever. But she said this is what he does. He finds a woman. He moves to wherever city she is, and then we don't hear from him. He leaves us hanging. Let me tell y'all something. You know what that said to me, right? This man don't have no real career. Now, I could be wrong. But most of us, I know that we now live in the post-COVID world where a lot of people work from home. I get that. But most of us can't just pick up and move city to city and not have to worry about jobs and responsibility and all of those things. The fact that this is his pattern, the fact that he has done this multiple times with multiple women and that he has been married 3 times, that tells me, sir, I'm side-eyeing you. He's a truck driver. Well, okay, I'll say that. He a truck driver. Okay, fine. All right, fine. He a truck driver. It still make me side-eye. I ain't gonna lie to you. I still make me, because again, you were willing to pick up your life and move to a whole nother city while you have children over here. Now, his daughter said, hey, the last time he moved away, or I don't think it was this girl right here, but the one before that, he said, well, she moved away on the day that my what do you say, my son's birthday, or the day my son was born. So I was like, wow, so you chose to move on the day that your grandson was being born? Wow, like you couldn't wait till the next day? Like you couldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, these are the questions I have, y'all, because to me, that's some basic shit. You can wait one more day. Like, especially if you're a truck driver, you're not like, it's not like you got a job to show up for. You can push it back a day. Like, why you didn't wait? We're going to get to that later. We're going to get more information on that later. But again, y'all, all of these red flags, right? It's snowing now, Ruru. It is snowing now. So we had an early dismissal. So then we find out from the daughter, from Jamiroquai's daughter, she is dealing with some mental health issues. Now, we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that, too. So they have dinner after they done ask these questions and stuff like that. They have dinner. Now, we already saw him get a little defensive when the mama tried to question him about, you know, his pattern and, you know, that kind of stuff. So we saw him get a little defensive, and I was like, okay. Who said that a second ago? Hold on. Was it Tiffany? Who said that a second ago? Tiffany GT said his friends were men, and I was giving one of them the side eye the way he grabbed his beard. Look, I was too. Now, I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies. I was too. Now, I ain't saying that there's anything going on, but I was side-eyeing it. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies. I was side-eyeing it, okay? Yeah, the daughter of the woman. So the daughter, his daughter, is literally crying at dinner. Like the silent tears just running down her eyes. The silent tears, the silent tears, the silent tears, right? She says she's mad. Like those are angry tears. Because, what we found out was that Jamiroquai was pregnant. And she ended up having a miscarriage. So the daughter was like, wait, whoa, hold up. So you mean to tell me you already don't have a relationship with your oldest daughters, but you about to have a whole nother baby with another woman and we didn't even know nothing about it? Like you didn't call and tell us she was pregnant. We didn't have a conversation about it. Like nothing? Nothing? So the girl is over there crying and everybody is telling him, you need to go over there. You need to talk to her. You need to hug her. You need to, let her know it's okay. Like you need to go talk to her. Like everybody is telling him, you need to go talk to her. You need to go talk to her. He was like, that's what I've been trying to do all day. No, you weren't. You were not. Well, at least if you did, we ain't see it. So then he would not get up and go over to that woman. I'm sorry, she's a young lady. That girl was sitting there crying, like crying, inconsolably crying. Everybody, including your fiance, then told you that you need to go over there and talk to her. And you would not get your ass up out that chair and go say nothing to her. Baby, when I tell you these red flags was flying high. So the next day, they go see the therapist. Now, y'all know that the therapist watches. Now, they watch everything that happens. So she asked him point blank, what happened last night? What was that? So they were saying how basically they realizing that the family has a lot, like this is deeper than them being cousins, that there's a lot going on, that the family's got a lot of trauma that they need to work through. So she was like, look, I'm going to bring in a trauma coach to let y'all talk about these issues. So I know that this was edited down, right? I get it. This was edited down, but let's just talk about what they showed us. So thank you. Not you. Now I knew you was half Native American. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So the daughter of Jamiroquai, Jamaica, she says, listen, I done told you I'm dealing with some mental health issues, and this is not helping my mental health. I done told you, I done threw hints that I want to go to therapy, and you ain't picking up on my hints. So I'm just telling you right now, I need some help. Baby, what that told me was this 16, 17, 18-year-old, we know she's a senior in high school because she said she just got one more year and she's on her way to college. So she's 16, 17, or 18, somewhere in that ballpark. The fact that this young lady can articulate her feelings so clearly in that moment tells me that y'all have had this conversation before. I do not believe that you did not know that she was struggling or that she was dealing with depression. I just don't believe that. Hell, she looked like she was dealing with depression when she first got there. I just ain't trying to diagnose nobody. But that girl looked like she was struggling when she first got there. So the mama said, okay, we'll get you some therapy. Baby, how about, hold on, I need to go talk to my daughter one-on-one. Even if the trauma coach came with y'all, I need to go talk to my daughter. Me and her need to have a conversation because I knew she was struggling, but I didn't know it was this serious. So right now, you know, the cameras can follow whatever, but we're going to move out of this environment and we need to have a one-on-one conversation. So she said that basically when he's not around, her and her mama are like best friends. And then the minute he come around, the mama be acting funny. Again, for a child to be calling you out on your bullshit, that says a lot. For a child to be like, when he around, when he not around, you be acting cool. But when he come around, you be acting funny again. Like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So then we get to his daughter. And his daughter starts talking about their relationship. And she starts with good stuff. She says, hey, once upon a time, you were my ride or die. You were my best friend. And you know, we were really, really close. But when you moved away, you basically stopped being a father to us. And you were a father to somebody else's child or children. Baby, she said that when she got pregnant, she was 16 years old and she was scared. And she called her father, and her father was not there for her. She said when it was time for her to give birth, he didn't even come to the hospital. And instead of him hearing her, he wanted to start defending and blaming her mother. Everything out his mouth was, well, your mother, your mother, your mother, your mother, your mother. He tried to say, well, your mother wouldn't let me. Your mother stopped me. Your mother wouldn't. He said, I wasn't even supposed to be at the hospital that day. What fuck you wasn't supposed to be there? Your grandchild was being born. I'm sorry. Why you weren't supposed to be at the hospital? And how did that woman keep you from going to the hospital? Explain that to me, how she kept you from going to the hospital. Unless you got a restraining order. Unless she has a restraining order against you, or the hospital got a restraining order against you, ain't no way in hell that you couldn't be at that hospital to watch your child. Maybe you, and I can see it, maybe you weren't in the delivery room, but ain't no way in hell you wasn't at that hospital. So he kept trying to cut her off because he don't want the story to be told. You could tell he was trying to cut her off because he didn't want her to finish telling that story about how he wasn't there for her. So he walks off, right? He walks off. He's all mad. He walks off. He's like, I'm done. So the daughter gets up and, they were trying to talk to her. She is crying. Like I said, she is inconsolable. She is crying. She was talking about how mad she was. She said, this is why my sister don't talk to him, right? This is why they have no relationship. Because basically, I guess her sister is like, deuces, whatever. I'm not fooling with you. So she gets up and she packs her stuff. Now, of course, everybody tried to get her to stay, right? Production tried to get her to stay. The friends were like telling him, you need to go talk to her. You need to go talk to her. You need to go talk to her. So he goes over to the car. She won't even look at him. She just staring straight ahead, just crying, tears. He was like, is there anything I could say to make you want to stay? She said, nope. He said, and this is what did it. He said, everybody, they want you to come back. You didn't say, I want you to come back. You didn't say, I'm sorry that I walked away. We need to finish this. You didn't say, I want us to do better. You said they want you to come back. Like I told y'all, the least of their problems is the fact that they're related. Baby, that is the least of their issues. All of this is a bigger problem than the fact that they're related. Okay? So later on that night, they talk. And they're like, listen, it's way too much going on. We need to take some time to take care of us. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that because here's why I don't like what they said or the way they said it. Because you didn't say we need to make things right with our kids. You said we need to work on ourselves. And I know some people might feel like, well, that's the same thing. It's the same. For me, it's not the same thing. Because do they need to work on themselves? Yes, of course they do, because clearly. But they never said we need to fix things with our families. It was we need we need to fix ourselves. And again, I know for some people they might be like, well, I mean, if they fix themselves and they'll fix, it's not the same thing. Me fixing what I personally have going on and me fixing years and years of a broken relationship with my children, that's not the same. Now, do I think they need to work on themselves? Yeah. But come to find out, so they said they put a pause on the wedding. And the best friend, he said it best. He said, we don't know what that means. They said we putting a pause on the wedding. We don't know what that means. Does that mean they're breaking up? Does that mean they're not going to get married? Does that mean they're just going to get married 6 months from now? We don't know what that means. Because how about his best friends didn't even know that he was related to this woman until the day before the show. So you literally only told them that you were related to her because you knew it was going to come out on the show. They literally did not know until the night before the show. So, at the end, they give us an update. And again, I don't know how old this update is either, because y'all know, like I said, y'all know how old it is with these shows, child. So I don't know how old the update is, but when the update, they were still living together, which again tells me you didn't get none of this. The fact that y'all are still living together tells me you didn't get it. That's why I said there's a difference between working on yourself and working on your broken relationships. Because if you were really serious about working on your broken relationships, you would have moved out. One of y'all would have moved out. Now, I don't know who would have moved out, but one of y'all would have moved out. And then you would have been intentional with getting therapy for your children. Because we only met one of her 6 children. I'm sure the other 5 children have a story to tell as well. Now, Xavier says she think the lady been cheating all this time and the kids are just tired of it. Maybe. I don't know. But going back, because some of y'all weren't here at the beginning when I said at the beginning, baby, to me, these are 2 of the most selfish people I have ever met. This was selfish. This was selfish. There's no other way around it. You put your own penis, I'm going to say it, in front of your relationship with your children. And now you're dealing with the consequences of those decisions. You are now dealing with the consequences of those decisions. And instead of wanting to work those out, you wanted to be right. Listen, one of his friends was whispering in his ear when he was trying to get him to go out and talk to the daughter. One of his friends said, sometimes you just got to tell them what they want to hear. Now, I didn't necessarily agree with how he said that because I felt like the way he said it was kind of, but I understood what he was trying to say. And what he was trying to say was, look, you got to put your pride aside. You know she wants a hug. You know she wants you to say I'm sorry. You know she wants you to say I love you and I'm sorry that those things hurt you. Like, you know what that girl wanted from you. And your own stubborn selfishness would not allow you to even go over there and have a conversation with that girl. The only reason why you went out to that car is because they told you to. But I believe that was production making you go out there. I mean, we saw him talking to his friends or whatever, but I believe that was production. That was like, we need you out there. We need to get your ass out there. Baby, his daughter would not even look at him. The therapist went out there, and the therapist was like, the therapist said, is there anything that I can do to get you to stay? She said, no, ma'am. She was very polite. She wasn't rude to that lady. She said, no, ma'am. But she wouldn't even look. She was looking straight ahead. She wouldn't even look at that lady. She said, no, ma'am. When he went out there, he said, they want you to come back. She said, I'm going home. He said something else. She said, I want to go home. Baby, my heart broke for that girl. I don't know how old she is, but in that moment, she looked like that scared 16-year-old girl that just wanted her daddy to hug her and tell her it was going to be okay. I'm sorry. That's all I saw. I don't know what all happened. But all I saw was that girl saying, I need my daddy. And he was not there. Those two are selfish as fuck. And just because we saw his side, I don't give her any more leeway. And I'm going to tell you why. Because again, you're not going to sit here and tell me you just seeing these red flags. Y'all been together at least, like I said, I'm going to get this late 2023, early 2024. So y'all been together at least 2 years. At least living together for at least 2 years. Ain't no way in hell you didn't know all this bullshit was going on with his kids. And she act like she was surprised about certain things. Stop playing with me. Even if you were shocked by certain details, I don't believe that you didn't understand that this man was keeping stuff from you. You see, some people will take a piece of a man. Ooh, don't make me go there. Ooh. I'm about to go down the left. I'm about to go left. Ooh. Baby, sometimes a woman will take a piece of a man. And I think that's what she's doing. Baby, I think that she came about that marriage. Truck drivers make good money. Maybe he was whining and dining her. I don't know. Maybe he helping pay bills because 6 kids ain't cheap. And who knows what relationship she got with this man, what her and this man got going on, her husband. But maybe, he making life a little easier for her. But baby, sometimes women will take a piece of a man. And I think that's what she's doing. I think she's taking a piece of a man. And in the process, she is sacrificing her relationship with her family as well as her relationship with her kids. Now, anyway, that's all I have for this. I did watch Traitors. I don't really have a lot to say. Maybe we'll just double up Friday. Because honestly, what happened is what I told y'all was going to happen. If you haven't already watched Traitors, child, it's been almost a week. But if you ain't watched it, go ahead and turn it off as a spoiler alert. But I did not believe that Rob would be dumb enough to kill Derek because I said if he kills Derek, he's signing his death warrant. I said if he kills Derek, it's going to be way too obvious. You went after Bob, you went after the other guy. If you go after if you go after Derek, basically it's going to put the bullseye on you. Now, what I didn't see coming is that it was going to be fucking Tom. I didn't see it was going to be Tom Sandoval, though. That's what was the surprise, okay? But I think I just wait and we'll double it up on Friday with Kiss My Cheeks and Abby. I have not looked at Ready to Love yet. I'm probably watching when I get off of here. Again, if I feel like I got something to say, I will. If not, I think Shade in the City. Treese, you still here? I think we're going to do it with Shade in the City. So I think I might just jump in next week. Again, if it compels me to say something, then I'll jump on and say something. And I still might come down here and talk about Traitors because I do have a few things to say. But since Abby and Cheeks didn't do one, we would be doubling up anyway. Like if they had did their video, I probably would. But the fact that they didn't do the video, we're gonna double up anyway. So tribe meeting at 6:45. Okay. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.